Angelina Jolie allegedly warned Justin Baldoni years before any of this exploded, and he didn't listen. Now he's buried in a $400 million war. His career torched, receipts piling up everywhere. This was never just a movie set gone wrong. Someone saw the whole thing coming in precise detail years in advance. And the man she warned walked straight into it anyway because he wanted to believe people. So here's what we're asking today. Why didn't Justin Baldoni listen? And is Angelina's silence right now actually the loudest thing in this entire saga? Welcome back to Amelia Brown. Everything here traces back to what's reportedly circulating through insider channels and legal filings. Some of it is genuinely on the record. Some of it is still allegation. We'll be upfront about which is which throughout. But even treated cautiously, the pattern underneath this story is hard to look away from. Start with the warning itself word for word because it deserves to be heard in full. 2022, before filming even started, Angelina allegedly pulls Justin aside and tells him, "Be careful with Blake and Ryan. Once you're in their orbit, control isn't shared." It's claimed. Let that phrase sit. That's not a vague, friendly caution. That's a specific surgical description of exactly how this relationship would allegedly operate. This isn't some anonymous account speculating from the outside either. This is a woman who has spent her entire adult life inside the machinery of Hollywood, who has watched directors get steamrolled by actors who technically weren't in charge, but somehow ended up calling every shot anyway. When someone with that specific pattern recognition takes the time to pull a director aside privately and hand him a warning this precise, that's not paranoia. That's expertise delivered as a courtesy. Underline exactly what made the warning so devastating in hindsight. She didn't just say Blake could be difficult. She said Blake and Ryan function as a unit, that whatever affects one affects the other, and that if tension ever emerged, expect Ryan to intervene publicly, strategically, and relentlessly. That's not gossip. That's a political briefing, handed to a first-time director walking into what he thought was simply a passion project. Push the part of the warning most people skip over entirely, because it's the most damning piece. Angelina didn't just warn Justin about Blake and Ryan as people. She reportedly warned him about the machinery behind them, the publicists and crisis teams that activate the instant a narrative starts slipping. In Hollywood, a celebrity isn't just a person, it's a corporation, and corporations have protocols. She told him to document everything, every conversation, every text, because if things ever went wrong, it wouldn't stay a simple disagreement. It would become a narrative war, and the side with the better PR team usually wins. Land the most tragic detail of all. Justin reportedly nodded along, thanked her, but didn't fully internalize what she was telling him. He thought she was being protective, maybe a little paranoid. That's the cruelty of warnings from people who've survived the machine. They sound extreme right up until you're standing inside it yourself, and by then the exits have already disappeared. Justin believed in teamwork. He believed in collaboration. He thought if he respected Blake's input enough, they'd build something beautiful together. Angelina had already told him in plain language exactly what he was walking into, and he walked into it anyway because he wanted to believe the best in people. That's the part of this story that should genuinely hurt to sit with. Trace the moment the warning stopped being theoretical. Production starts, and almost immediately, rumors emerge that Blake is overruling creative choices, blocking specific plot lines, requesting changes mid-scene. Crew insiders reportedly describe her treating the source material millions of fans cherish like background noise, arriving with her own vision and expecting everyone to simply follow it. Make the freeze-out concrete and brutal. When Justin resisted, he allegedly stopped receiving final cut approvals. Producers aligned with Blake reportedly excluded him from key meetings. And then the detail that should stop anyone in their tracks. He was reportedly not invited to his own movie's premiere. The director of the film, banned from the premiere of his own film. You couldn't invent that if you tried. Connect this directly back to the warning because that's what makes it devastating rather than just messy. Angelina had allegedly described exactly this dynamic months earlier, the way control gets claimed rather than shared. And now it was playing out in real time, exactly as predicted, while the person it was happening to had no framework left to stop it because he dismissed the warning as overly cautious. This isn't corporate maneuvering happening to a stranger. This is a man being slowly erased from a project he wrote, developed, and starred in, not through one dramatic confrontation but through 1,000 small cuts. A door left closed, a call not returned, a producer looking through him instead of at him. That's how control gets claimed. Not with a declaration, with a whisper. Reframe the entire lawsuit narrative because the timeline itself is damning. December 2024, while Hollywood was winding down for awards season, Blake Lively was preparing a very different kind of performance. A bombshell lawsuit dropped against Justin Baldoni, alleging harassment, boundary violations, and a coordinated smear campaign supposedly designed to destroy her credibility. But according to filings, Blake didn't enter through the front door. The suit was reportedly filed under a vague, nondescript corporate shell name never previously linked to her, specifically designed to avoid immediate attention, while subpoenas quietly went out. Before Justin's team even understood who was behind it, the machinery was already moving. Push the narrative management detail as hard as it deserves. One email, allegedly obtained through discovery, reportedly showed Blake's representatives coordinating with a gossip outlet to synchronize a release timeline with the legal filing. Subject line: Narrative Management Strategy January Rollout. Let that phrase sit exactly as long as it needs to. That's not a legal team responding to a dispute. That's a media campaign, planned in advance, designed to install the victim narrative before a single hearing ever took place. Bring in the Slack messages because they do more damage than any accusation could. Once we file, we need to control discovery fast, before Justin gets his narrative in place. And later allegedly circulating among crew. We'll leak to people first, then push the interview, then let Ryan handle Twitter. That's not damage control. That's a war plan with assigned roles and a sequenced rollout, treating a human being's reputation like a marketing calendar. Land the counterpunch. Justin's $400 million countersuit doesn't just name Blake. It names Ryan Reynolds and their shared publicist, alleging a coordinated media attack, leaked half-truths, and the use of industry influence to shut him out of future work entirely. And this is exactly the scenario Angelina had allegedly described almost word for word 2 years earlier. If tension emerges, Ryan intervenes publicly, strategically, relentlessly. Set up why Angelina's non-reaction matters so much. Throughout this entire explosion, she never tweeted, never reposted, never commented publicly. And that absence from one of the most calculated power players in the industry didn't go unnoticed. She doesn't insert herself into feuds for entertainment. She doesn't pick sides unless she believes something serious is genuinely coming. Her silence isn't neutral. It's confirmation. Push the production company detail, because it's the closest thing to hard evidence in this entire story. Angelina's own company was reportedly in early discussions with Blake for a lead role in one of her female-led international dramas back in 2023. By mid-2024, that name had quietly vanished, no announcement, no recasting press release, simply gone, replaced by actresses known specifically for being low maintenance and collaborative. That's not a scheduling conflict. That's a message delivered without a single word, and Hollywood heard it clearly. Make the she doesn't need to speak angle land hard. Multiple outlets, Vanity Fair, The Hollywood Reporter, even Vogue, reportedly reached out for comment as the legal battle intensified, and she declined every single request. When a woman with that much leverage refuses to explain herself even once, while quietly clearing her own slate of anyone associated with the chaos, that's not caution. That's someone protecting her name from proximity to something she already knows is going to get worse. Explore the motive question directly because it deepens the whole story. Justin and Angelina weren't close. They hadn't worked together, didn't move in the same circles. She didn't know him anything. So why risk the rumor mill to warn him privately at all? The most compelling answer is also the most damning one. She'd spent decades watching powerful people weaponize influence against smaller targets, watch directors lose entire projects over a single phone call from a star's spouse, and when she saw Justin walking into that exact machine with open arms and no armor, something in her reportedly couldn't stay quiet, even if she never planned to say a word publicly once it actually happened. Frame the documentation angle as proof the warning actually landed somewhere, even if Justin didn't fully act on it in time. He reportedly started saving emails, keeping texts, recording meetings, not the behavior of someone caught completely off guard, but the behavior of someone who'd been told quietly to prepare for a storm even if he underestimated how bad it would get. Push the stakes of what discovery could still reveal. If Justin documented his own side this thoroughly, the uncomfortable question becomes obvious. Who else did he document, and what else might surface once the courtroom doors open? Because when a lawsuit this big goes nuclear, everything comes out, every careless text, every snarky email, every moment of arrogance preserved forever in digital amber. This case isn't just about who wins. It's about what gets exposed along the way: private conversations, backroom deals, casual cruelty from people who assume no one was watching. Land the date and the stakes together. March 2026, jury selection reportedly begins, and if the judge unseals the evidence, texts, photos, call logs could all become public record. Streaming platforms are reportedly already circling documentary rights. PR firms across the industry are reportedly rewriting their own risk protocols for working with A-list clients. One question still lingers over all of it. Will Blake Lively actually take the stand, or will she settle quietly to keep the receipts buried for good? Either way, this stopped being simply about a film a long time ago. It's about trust, power, and the cost of control in a town that pretends to play fair. Blake may have the spotlight, Ryan may have the charm, but Justin has something else now: the public watching every receipt stack up, and a reputation that just might survive it. Widen the lens to the public fight happening alongside the legal one. Fan accounts dedicated to Justin have multiplied online. Hashtags demanding his original cut have trended repeatedly, while Blake's supporters push back hard, pointing to the seriousness of the allegations. Comment sections have become genuine battlegrounds, and the truth stays tangled somewhere in the middle of competing narratives. Book fans who felt protective of the original source material have rallied hardest of all, arguing that Justin was the one person on that set who actually understood the story he was adapting, the tone, the pacing, the emotional beats fans had cherished for years. On the other side, Blake's defenders keep pointing to something equally serious: the actual weight of harassment allegations, and warning everyone not to dismiss a claim just because the accused happens to be sympathetic in this particular retelling. Both sides think they're the ones being reasonable. Both sides are almost certainly wrong about at least part of what they believe. Push the deeper point this segment is really making. This is exactly the environment Angelina allegedly warned Justin about. The way a story gets flattened into good versus evil until real people get turned into symbols. Justin isn't just a director anymore. He's the underdog. Blake isn't just an actress anymore. She's either a victim or a powerful figure abusing her platform, depending on who you ask. Notice how quickly this stopped being about facts at all. Every new filing creates a fresh headline. Every leaked document shifts public mood within hours. Every lawyer's statement gets dissected by thousands of people online who've never set foot in a courtroom but feel absolutely certain they already know exactly what happened. It's chaos dressed up as justice, and almost nobody in the comments seems to notice the difference anymore. Land the thesis of the entire saga in one line. Once people become symbols, the truth becomes almost irrelevant because the machine doesn't care about facts, it cares about momentum. Hollywood runs on narrative, and whoever controls the story controls everything, right up until it spirals so far beyond anyone's control that even the most powerful PR machines can't contain it anymore. Close the segment on the central unresolved tension. Blake wanted a clean victory. Justin wanted peace. Angelina wanted to protect someone from a storm she'd allegedly already seen once before. Nobody in this story walks away clean, and the one person who saw it coming from the very beginning has said, publicly, almost nothing at all. Bring it back to where this started. Angelina Jolie allegedly warned Justin Baldoni, in plain, specific language, exactly what he was walking into. He didn't listen, not because he was foolish, but because he wanted to believe collaboration and good intentions would be enough to protect him. They weren't. And now the entire industry is learning in real time the same lesson she apparently tried to teach him quietly, years before any of this became public. Control isn't shared in this town. It's claimed. And if you don't claim it first, someone else claims it for you. So ask yourself, was Angelina's silence really neutrality? Or was it the quiet confidence of someone who already knew exactly how this story was going to end? Drop your take in the comments, like the video if this changed how you're reading the whole situation, and subscribe so you don't miss it when the March 2026 trial finally brings everything into the open.